Next, we're going to get into lateral expansion. So lateral expansion simply means the ability of the rib cage to move side to side. We want the rib cage to be able to widen on an inhale and then come back together on an exhale. You've got something called an ISA angle. I'm not going to get too in depth into that, but just know that this angle right here, kind of from your xiphoid process coming down, that should be able to decrease on an exhale and increase on an inhale. I'm going to use 2 yoga blocks for this, but just know that again, you can use pillows or whatever feels good to your body, and we want to make sure that we're getting all the boxes checked. It really doesn't matter what props you do to do it. First thing we're going to do is get 1 yoga block placed kind of right against those lower ribs. Now please keep in mind that a yoga block may be too aggressive for you. It's totally fine to use a pillow. If you're like, oh God, that's like really hard, don't use a yoga block. Use a pillow. It's totally fine, okay? So I've got the yoga block and I'm going to kind of put it right here. All right, lower ribs. And now I want something for my head. Whoop. Yoga block was a little too high. All right, so I've got it kind of against lower ribs and right sort of in that fleshy part underneath the lower ribs as well. What I want to make sure I'm doing is now I'm going to bring my knees up to 90 degrees. So this is just going to let the back of my pelvis expand a little bit as well, which is really important. We want to make sure that you're not rolling forward, okay? So I want you to kind of think about stacking one shoulder on top of the other and not letting your hips roll forward. Got everything kind of in this really nice stacked position. Now from here, we're going to take a really nice inhale through the nose and we're going to exhale. And we're going to think about really letting on our next inhale the expansion happen on the side opposite of the block. So on our inhale, we should feel a lot of really nice movement in the opposite rib. And then we're going to exhale. Let this rib come down, deep core come up. Next inhale, we're going to keep a little bit of tension in the deep core. Looking for that really nice expansion, and then exhale. So this one, we want to do it on both sides to make sure we're getting that really nice reciprocal movement of the rib cage from side to side. And I'll show you one more time from the other side. So again, I'm going to get set up with the yoga block. It's right above my hip bone, kind of on those lower ribs. Now I'm going to get a yoga block for my head. And usually I find that the right side feels a little bit better, as in the right side is always tighter for me than the left side. So we're going to be here, and again, I'm wanting to get everything kind of stacked on top of one another. So I don't want one shoulder rolling forward and one side of my hip rolling forward. I want to make sure that I can keep all of these stacked, and I'm going to bring my knees up to 90 degrees. If that feels like too much for you, you can have your knees a little bit lower. That's totally fine. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a really nice long exhale, open mouth, deep core up. Now I'm going to inhale and let this side of my body really expand on that inhale. Deep core on during that inhale. Exhale. Now I'm going to think deep core up, 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 up. Let the rib come down, 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 down. Now I'm going to inhale again. If you want to intensify the stretch a little bit, you can just let your arm come above your head and you can just kind of let it fall here. Always feels so good on the right. My right side is always so much tighter than my left. That is one of the parts of the 360-degree expansion that we're working on. So we did the rock back for the back body, and this is our lateral expansion. And next we are going to work on getting your pump handle expanding. And that just means that we're able to get the chest and sternal area to move more with an inhale than the belly.